couple minutes late. We are definitely living up to Undercover Dumpster Fire tonight. My whole week has been Undercover Dumpster Fire, but hey, thank you for joining us. I'm here, as always, with Fireman Willie, Therapist Willie, Actor Willie.
What's up?
And, of course, shirt on, Keto 5-0. Eric, what's going on, man?
Yeah, doing good.
How are the push-ups? What are we at?
I think I'm around 1,600 now for the month, so.
All right, excellent.
Yeah.
Feeling swole.
Yeah, getting ripped. That's cool. Yeah, and Matt retired now.
And myself.
Yeah, retired. And we need to introduce you, Eric. Will you introduce him? I've never had you introduce him. You should introduce him real quick.
I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with Eric introducing me, but we'll give it.
Yeah,
go for it, Eric. Let's see what you got.
And now, retired undercover detective, weighing in at 199 pounds.
95.
And a tall 5'7".
5'9".
5'9.5".
I only look 5'7" when I'm standing next to Willie. All right.
Oh yeah.
Or you.
Well, we'll all look short next to him, I'm sure. But
Next time I do a podcast, there's going to be a height limit. 6 foot, you're out.
I know. They always tell me on the cameras and stuff, they're like, "Can you put your seat down a little bit?" You know, because like it'll always be taller than everybody. Anyway, yeah, I'll put my seat down.
Well, no, it gets embarrassing when you're when you're on the set or whatever, and they are looking for a female that's shorter than you to put next to you, and they can't find one. It's like, yeah, this is a bad day for me.
Put you up on a block.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we got him. We put him on a block, cinder block.
That's what they used to do with Stallone. So come on, I think I deserve a little credit.
Yeah, Stallone. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like apparently, like every time he was next to Adrian or whatever, he was always on blocks. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, supposedly.
I didn't know that.
That's weird, right?
Yeah, I never knew that. I'm gonna watch that again, like
just to try to see if you can. Yeah, exactly.
I never do that. That's so weird. That's one of my favorites. You know,
yeah, so I think he's like somewhere between 5'5" and 5'8". I'm not exactly sure, but somewhere in that range. So he's pretty tall, same height as me. So I'll give him credit. He's tall.
Yeah, he's really tall.
She must have just been really tall.
Hey, what I would like to say, you are wearing a fantastic Ketovore
Do you like this
shirt. Yes, so.
Hey,
squadlife.com, baby.
There you
that's
go.
Cool. That's keto. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to show it off in a while. I think I wore it like in a video about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'll wear it tonight. I'm good though.
Yeah. Nice. Look, that fireman red. I like that.
Yeah. See, and that's the problem because I always have a little bit of red in my face, so like it really amplifies that. So it does not help that situation.
It's just a reflection.
So whenever you're ready to send me like a black one or something like that, I'll take it.
Get your cops and campers one when we get down there. So.
That's cool. I almost wore a blue hoodie tonight too. So we have this thing where we're wearing the same colors, you know. But today we didn't. But I thought about wearing a blue hoodie, and then we'd be just like Eric. Last time we wore both red. So
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
so.
We have to coordinate now.
Or have a uniform. A cop's
there we go.
A dumpster fire T-shirt.
Yep. There we go. Patch.
I might be losing you guys out. I may have some internet trouble. Let's hope not. Hey, somebody just said you look like Elon Musk, Willie.
Hey, I love that.
This guy. That's what he needs. That's what he needs more of.
Yeah,
now.
I end up getting. Oh, look! I turned sideways. What happened? Yeah.
This is like the bad Hollywood squares.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna turn Instagram off. I think that's what happened.
Wow,
let's see
dude.
here.
Hey, just to warn you guys, I think I'm having some kind of internet trouble here, so you guys could end up doing the show, the two of you, if you all of a sudden see me black out.
So Willie, you laying on your side?
Yeah.
Hey,
Willie, are we boring you? I'm sorry.
Let's see if I can go sideways now.
This is definitely an undercover doctor.
I'm sideways, man. This is how it is today. All right, I'm gonna go.
While Willie's trying to figure out how to stand up.
Okay, there we go.
I guess he just left us. I think he's coming back now.
That was funny.
Yeah, no kidding. So how was your week, Eric?
Good, man. I'm back in Tennessee, like I said, visiting my mom, Detective June Hawkins. Hey, there he is.
Hey, I'm back.
And cut me off. You're not if she doesn't want you talking about anything. Can you talk about what she's done? Because I saw. I mean, obviously you just showed us the wall, and I don't know if you could swing around to show everybody.
Oh yeah.
But obviously your mom is kind of like a hero to me.
Well, she's my hero too, but she used to boss me around a little bit. But here's some of the cool things. This is
You
her
need it.
badge. Yeah, I probably did. But
Super
yeah,
cool.
this is her promotion wall and some of the cool things that she got. So yeah, I
So
really
cool.
definitely feel like the third best cop, like I say, in the whole family every time I come home.
Mhm.
But
So for
yeah,
anybody that doesn't know who she is, she was Miami Homicide. If you
oh
have
yeah,
seen Netflix Giselda, she's the one who got her basically, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but she was the key figure in that whole thing.
yeah. Her
Wow.
and my stepfather, he did a lot of the work, but they highlighted the female to make it woman against woman. The takedown. So he got kind of left making a. His only scene was a stapler, that he had. So
Wait, no, that's The Office. Different
I'm,
movie.
Yeah, the
It's all
red
right.
stapler.
Yes.
Hmm. That's cool. So you got some generational like first responder blood and family threads. That's cool.
yeah. My dad was
Hmm.
an Air Force cop, before alcohol got him, and my mom caught him, and then she left his ass. And anyways, she became a homicide cop. So it was the craziest. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm sitting around today. We were talking our breakfast conversations are a little bit different than the average. It's like, about
Hmm.
CIs that got whacked, or commanders that got caught with a girl in the car when they shouldn't had, because
Oh
of that whole
yeah.
thing that's going on social media with the Coldplay concert. So
Ah, the guy
that's
got caught. Yeah.
that's been a hot
Hmm.
topic, even about guys that got caught in the old days, commanders caught with their secretaries, and all kinds of just stuff came up. So it's pretty interesting, all dumpster
Hmm.
fire stuff, of course.
Total
Oh yeah.
dumpster fires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had several officers caught with, of course, strippers. There's always officers getting caught with strippers.
Always.
Like,
Yeah.
and then you always, the
That's
one that really gets me, and I think every large agency has had this, is you will have, and I hate saying this, the undercovers who get caught with prostitutes, that they actually pick up a prostitute in real life. Of all people to do that, how disgusting and horrible it is. Like,
yeah.
I always want to know what goes, because it's usually
Hmm.
the street prostitutes too. It's not
No,
escorts
like a
per se.
high dollar one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's the $20
$20. Yeah. They're like, well, it doesn't matter,
Hey, look at that! I think I just
Oh.
got a shadow ban for another week, so y'all are
Oh
welcome
Hey,
for that.
no.
we are so shadow banned. It's not
No,
even
dude.
funny,
Yeah,
man.
it's
We
bad.
say so many things that get like flagged, and we got kicked off of TikTok the first time we even
Oh, that's
streamed
right.
anything,
Yeah.
and they were
First
like,
time.
"Nope," ended it. So we're
Grand
just
opening,
living
grand
it.
closing right off the
Yeah,
bat.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep. Hmm.
Everybody hating on dumpster fire. That's all right. Hey, Sid
Hey.
asked.
Oh,
Somebody asked. Sid asked. Oh, cool. Sid, what years did your mom work Miami? His
oh,
grandfather worked out
1975 to 2004. So that would
Hmm.
have been, I started in 2001 at Boynton Beach. So right when I started, she hightailed it to Tennessee.
there. You're like, nope, I'm done.
Hey,
Hmm.
what's a cool little side stories? We had one of my first when I was in FTO, one of my first horrible scenes was a murder suicide where the guy killed his ex girlfriend, and he fled down to Dade County and killed himself in a car down there. So my mom's department handled that case. So it was kind of a weird, like my department and my mom's department crossed paths. Of course, it took some poor lady to get whacked, but
Yeah.
that's kind of the way this business is. So
It's pretty rough.
Bobby
Yeah.
Jones, she probably will know that guy. They all know each other, especially if they got jammed up a little bit or did a little famous investigations. You know.
Yeah.
Very,
Wow.
very cool.
Hmm.
So I asked
Well,
Eric how his week was. Willie, how was your week?
Um, it's been interesting. So
That's
yeah,
never a
I
good one.
mean,
oof.
Dumpster
no,
fire?
so like so every once in a while when I really can't get out of my head, I have to do like drastic things to get kind of back to baseline. And one of the things I've been doing is barefoot, like going out barefoot, not like to the store and stuff,
Right.
but
Right.
just I live in Florida, there's sand everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can kind of walk around, whatever. And I ended up burning my feet on the bottom
Oh, that's not good. That
and
hurts.
like pretty bad. And I didn't know it for a
Ooh.
week. So this is actually 2 weeks ago that I
Okay.
burnt them. And then I found out because I was going for a run on the beach. And I went to Manatee Beach over by Bradenton. on the Gulf side, and then I ran up to Santa Maria Island or Anna Maria Island or whatever, and it's just a strip. It's basically the same where Siesta Key is. It's just a little more north. If you guys know where that is, Sarasota. And so then I was running, and I ran about 2.5 miles, and then I jumped in the ocean to kind of just float around, because that's another thing that I do to just kind of zero out. And my feet were stinging, and then all of a sudden I realized, dang, I have like 2nd and 3rd degree burns like all the way through my skin on the bottom of my feet.
Wow.
And by running it, like, moved it all. And so this whole last few days I've been out of whack, man. I walk like 5 miles a day. I work out every day, you know, like, just not like crazy, but it's a routine. And so now I'm trying to, like, you know, I actually rode around in Target last night with one of those carts.
No way.
Yeah.
And we don't have a picture of this?
Dude,
How do we,
oh my
I'm
God.
Picture.
I am so disappointed in Brittany right now. It's unreal.
She's in Florida, so I'm in Colorado.
Hey, what store did you go? I happen to know a Target security rep.
Yep, Colorado Springs is where I went. Yep.
Oh my goodness! Put a little fire hat on him.
Yeah, I was cruising around and my leg was up, and I was getting ice cream, you know. So it was I made it okay, you know. So, but you know, you go through like your normal stuff, and then something like that happens, and you're like, I can't even walk now. What the heck? And now I gotta like shift into something else. So that's why I was weird this week. Everything I was doing was weird. So yeah, that was my week. How was yours?
So my week was the same, and just so obviously we've talked about before, you know, I'm in therapy now. Well, but now I'm in it every week, and I'm starting out doing EMDR. This was my first week with EMDR.
Yeah.
And which is very, like, I can already tell it's going to be beneficial, but it's going to take time. And I swear it's one of those things where God wanted me to make sure I got to test it some here. So like this whole week has been just different kinds of stresses for me nonstop. Like the grocery store, I had to go to the grocery store a couple times, and just so y'all know, like that's a very hard thing. Crowds for me, are basically, they feel like, that feels like a death sentence sometimes.
Yeah,
it is not uncommon for me to be halfway done shopping, have a grocery cart halfway full, and just leave. Where I can't take it anymore, and I'm trying very, very hard not to do that anymore.
Good. Yeah.
Do you go early, or do you try to pick times that you avoid? Like obviously July 3rd before July 4th, you're like, I'm not going anywhere today, right?
Yeah, you'd never get me to go then.
Right.
But in the Keys where I live, it seems like I can never get a good time where it doesn't kill me. But
yeah,
and I did pretty good. So I had to go a couple times this week, and there was one time that like I got in there, and you know how Will, you know this way better than I do. You'd be able to explain, but you can do a tapping thing, and do stuff with the EMDR. So I ended up doing that right in the grocery store, kind of a corner. Brought myself, thought I was doing good. Calmed myself down some, got back out, doing my groceries, and then it just went like there a bunch of people, and I was barely making it. And I felt bad at one point because these two late 20s kids, I will say, like they totally took a cart and blocked it a whole aisle, and it's like getting frustrated. I'm already, and so they grabbed the cart, and I was like, that was a great place to put it, wasn't it? And the kid just looked at me, and I looked back at him and gave him that look, and he just scurried off. And I was like, man, there was no reason I had to do that. Why did I do that? So I felt bad about it then, because I was like, all right, you know what? I lost it a little bit.
That's all right though. Hey, come back to this butterfly thing.
Yeah.
Because what you were doing is being present. Like, like if you were to just get in your body, you know, in those moments, because remember, your stress response will actually constrict the blood out of your extremities. So like if I'll shake, man, like I'll do whatever I gotta do, you know, push-ups, like whatever you gotta do. So I just wanted to explain that, because what you're doing, the butterfly hug, like you're protecting yourself, but you're also telling your body that you're okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good. Hey, we're good, right? Yeah, we are, and not in
It
your
definitely.
head,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, in your body. That's good, man. Thanks for sharing that, brother. That's
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, it was one
Yeah,
thing after another this week, and then just like it's been so stupid busy. Um, that I was
yeah.
like, okay, I'm getting tested here. This is good. I'll make it through this week. we'll see how this EMDR really works.
Yeah, it's when you're doing trauma work though and unpacking stuff, your body remembers what happened
Yeah,
and it knows it's sending off signals. Some of them are subconscious, where it's like looking for threats, all the time. So
yeah.
when you start processing stuff, I'll just encourage you and anyone listening, be super kind to yourself, like ultimately gentle, because we're like opening ourselves up to all the stuff, and their body's the one that has to process and get kind of worked out. You can rationalize what to do with trauma, but your body's the one that will keep you from actually healing.
Yeah, 100%.
You
I
know,
gave blood this week.
you did.
Yeah, I was because my ferritin levels were really high, and that was one of the recommendations that my doctor had said to do. So I went and gave blood on my mom's birthday. I'm like, hey, I feel good. I got a T-shirt. But then next couple of days, man, I've been gassed, dude. I've had nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously coming off cops and campers, and that stress, and I just feel like my adrenals are a little bit run down this week. So I just been taking it easy and just trying to, like you said, recoup and get back into my mind and kind of get
Yeah,
ready for August coming down to see you knuckleheads. So
yeah, that'll be so cool,
Hey,
man.
one thing, just real quick for the benefit of our viewers and stuff. Can you tell them where you donated blood so they know where to avoid? Just real quick.
They don't want keto blood. What?
hey, somebody was asking me about the steak and eggs, and he was a carnivore,
There you
so
go.
I made a friend in the freaking blood lab, and all
Oh
those
yeah.
all those girls all heavy, and they're like, "You just eat meat?" I go, "Yeah," and they're looking at me, like trying to figure it out.
Yep, that's
Nice.
cool. Yeah, keto. I didn't realize you're like when you give blood, you're embedding some keto blood in
Oh yeah,
somebody else, and they don't even know it.
dude,
You
it's
know?
gonna be O positive. It's gonna be keto 5O.
Oh, positive. Yeah,
Keto 5O my.
You know what? We should be
it's like
shadow banned after that one.
we're definitely shadow banned. Red Cross. We're sorry, Red Cross. You're great. We'll
We
help
just
you
hated
out.
giving blood.
He made a massive
Hmm.
recovery. We don't understand it.
Yeah. Hey, can I throw this out there? Because Cindy asked a question in the comments about being with like busy, having kids. Like, how do you get into the swing of getting back into shape?
Oh,
And
that's a great
since,
question.
yeah, so what do you guys think?
Meal
Like for
prep, you got to have the right snacks, stuff like that. I mean, there's a whole list of good foods and bad foods that you got to have for your family, and you got to meal plan ahead of time. That's what we got to do. We cook 2, 3 days out. We got plenty of food. We freeze it. Pain in the ass, but it's your life, it's your health, and it's your future, right? So why not
Yeah,
take the time now to do it? That's what we do as my family.
pretty
yeah,
close. And
some
then the other thing
diet,
with
yeah.
workout is like the first thing I had to do was make it a non-negotiable. I mean, literally put it above everything.
Hmm.
I will miss something at work before I miss a workout. That it just, and I mean, I've gotten up at 3 o'clock in the morning before to make sure I will get my workout in, whatever it
Yeah,
takes. That I cannot miss it.
that's
And
great.
in the beginning, it's extremely hard, right? I mean, that's like the
Hmm.
hardest time with it. And then now it's so funny because there are certain days, like either when my body, your body's extremely exhausted. You're like, all right, you know what? Today's an easy day. Either just go for a walk or something like that. And then
Hmm.
you feel it just doesn't feel right. Like if you're not pushing, it's like, wait, I messed up today. So your body really gets in the habit and takes care of it. And then, like Eric was saying, I don't meal prep out as much as he does. I've gotten again for me the hardest part was in the beginning. Like I and I know Eric will agree with me. I know Willie will agree with this. I think sugar is one of the worst things on this planet. 100%. I hate it. And
I mean, I love it, but I hate it.
it's a love hate relationship.
Hmm.
Uh, and then now that like it's easy for me to just avoid sugar altogether these days. So once
Hmm.
your body gets used to eating the right way, um, you'll find that that's kind of the stuff you crave. Like you
Yeah.
won't get away from all the bad things. You just and then like I think kind of like what Eric does with the meal prepping, is you've always got to have the right stuff on hand. I think that's where a lot of people get in trouble is because you'll get the munchies or whatever at some point, and if you don't have the right stuff to go at, then you're going to do something stupid, just
Yeah.
out of
Yeah,
And
I keep like keto brick around, and it's a tallow flavored. It's like a fat bomb, and that totally satiates me. So I'm not hungry. I'm not looking for more Doritos or sodas, and boom, I'm good. And that's what we kind of incorporate. But yeah, man, it's not easy. The food is designed to get you kind of hooked and to keep craving it because it's not really nutritious. It's not real food, you
yeah.
know.
Sid just put monsters are my weakness.
Oh,
Yeah, 2 a day. You're a rookie, Sid. You're a rookie. You need to get better.
Ah.
That is
Yeah,
also mine, but this is the zero sugar and all that, so
it's better than the
doesn't
more
get
sugar.
better. Like there's always a ton of chemicals in here, so no, it is not. I do
it's
not
not.
condone
Yeah.
this. But
Mhm.
cheers.
Yeah. Well, and I'd add too,
Got
if
my
you got
got my
kids,
caffeine.
if you've got kids, man, make that part of their little adventure. That my kids think I'm crazy. I think because they're like, oh, we're going on a walk with dad, and then he's doing I'm doing pull ups on a tree, or dropping doing some push ups, or having them hike up a hill and back down, and just trying to get moving. And if you count steps, that's a good simple thing. Just
Yeah,
count
Yeah.
passively. How many steps do you do in a day? And then tomorrow, try to get 1% more.
Yep.
1%.
Just 1%. Because then the next day you do 1%. And we're talking minute changes. That's a lifestyle change. If you do that for a couple weeks, now you're into a rhythm. You're like, oh, I just need to get a little bit longer walk. Kids need to go a little bit farther. And then if make the kids ride bikes, while you're walking, or go to the park and walk around, that kind of thing. Find where those parks are.
Absolutely.
Go to the dog park. Go watch dogs. Walk around. I mean, I think you make it simple.
And I think what you're saying is also huge. Like what you bring it up is, you know, our kids look at us and they watch us, and so if we're not doing anything that's going to follow that same path, versus if we are out there working it, then they're going to be like, oh, I
Hey.
kind of want to, I want to be like dad, kind of thing, or I want
Yeah,
to be like mom.
yeah. So
So
weird.
yeah,
Yeah, the
definitely.
kids. Like when I do a workout, sometimes other little kids will be watching, and then I've had moms and stuff be like, "Hey, my son's looking up to you right now," and then I start crying because then I'm like, "Man, I'm like,
Crying?
yeah, for real," because I think about that little kid
I
just
know.
looking up to an adult, and then I'm that adult, and it throws me into a weird thing because I didn't have that. I didn't have
Right.
anybody showing me what the fuck to do. Sorry, but not sorry. you know
Hey, we made
so
it
it's
halfway. We're good.
All
yeah,
right,
so I
Robert.
recognize that's why it's a joy thing for me. Like some of those events that happen, if I start crying, it's not because I'm sad. Half the time it's because it's like, wow, look what's happening right now. Like I'm in that moment, and
Yeah.
I know what it is. That kid's inspired. Maybe who knows what he's gonna do in his life, So
Yep.
you never know, and your kids look up to us like that. So even if they're
100.
not yours,
Exactly.
um,
Yeah, we got a portable pull-up bar that we take around in different campgrounds. I'll be out there hanging or trying to do stuff, and you'll see the little kids come up and they'll want to
yeah,
boost up there and challenge themselves or pull themselves up, and you start spotting them, and next thing you know, I'm running like a little baby daycare or something. I'm helping all these kids train. I'm just trying to get my but it's really
yeah,
cool, and you're right. You start to have this contagious effect on them, and they do.
yeah,
A lot of young men are, especially little boys, I see, are looking for some type of role model, that somebody
yeah,
that's like, hey, this guy can do some cool stuff. I want to emulate that. And it could be anything. It could be
yeah.
running, it could be shooting archery or anything.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whatever you're doing, normal everyday stuff. And yeah, I'd say just listen to your heart too, because your heart will tell you like, oh, today you should go fishing, or
Yeah.
today is just a day I'm just gonna chill. We're watching movies, and
Good.
maybe we go for a walk because we still need to move around. Maybe we'll walk in the mall, and then we'll walk to the movie theater. Like you just get creative. And
I
if
was
you're
doing,
like,
oh,
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. No,
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 I
go
was
ahead.
saying Vance Rowe was doing yoga at our Cops and Campers event. So 2 days in a row, we got to get back into that state. And I need to get
Yeah,
back into it and make it a real strong habit of mine,
Yeah.
because when you're there and they start telling you, hey, you're probably starting to think about your day right now, you're starting to wander, come back, come back and breathe, think about
Yeah,
this. And he would bring you back in. And I
that's
kind of
cool.
I need that, because as soon as
Yeah,
I'm stretching, sometimes lifting, I start wandering down the
yeah,
chaos road of what I got to do, and I maybe affect my workout. So
yeah,
yeah, I think yoga
Oh
is
yeah.
something that
yeah. Totally. Being present, man. That's what it is. Um, yeah, and we got people saying yoga was badass. Sorry,
I
we're
got you,
totally
Kim.
shadow banned
Yeah,
now, so
it'll
I
always
dropped
be
the
that
F
way.
bomb and whatever.
Listen, we're never going to worry about the shadow ban because it's never going away. Let's just go ahead
That's
and
why we get
accept that.
50 views, No, they won't promote it at all. They're like,
No.
whatever, just leave them
Yeah.
alone.
it'll be on
So
the best of end of the year best of.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. No, that's cool. So yeah, I mean, there's like, I didn't realize I was doing yoga. A lot of times, I call it like search and destroy, where I'll do a body scan, kind of scan using my third eye, if you will, like that video camera we got in our head, and scan our body and look for any tightness or tension, and then try to stretch it out or work it out. And I got a lacrosse ball for my feet, a foam roller for my back, Theraguns, whatever you got to do to kind of, and notice you start stretching and moving your body in different ways. Like a simple one, a nervous reset, a simple one that stretches also is just simply moving your head side to side
Hmm.
and breathing.
Oh, it's feeling good. Thanks, Willie. Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, we get so tense in our necks and
Oh
stuff. And the same thing like this, doing this, if you can push your neck back a little bit, because a lot of times we get down locked in like this. So if you can push your neck back a little bit and then go up and down and see if you have any tightness or tension. I know those aren't yoga things, but like if you use that kind of principle for each part of your body and just kind of move it around gently, slowly, and sometimes you need to push a little bit more, not into pain, but like because it's been so tight and wound up for so long, your lower back. And do you guys ever get that kind of stuff?
oh yeah. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I'm not
like
moving mine right now much because I've had a couple surgeries on my neck. So if I make it right, you'll hear a, which I do.
yeah,
Like I mean it. Yeah, it
I
feels good
heard
to
it. I
move.
heard one in there. It was like, yep.
Yes.
Yeah, but we need to move our bodies though. Think about stress, and if you let it happen and nothing, you don't do anything about it. We
It'll
like
kill you.
end up just tense everywhere, and then we got to like get rid of that,
Yes.
to get back to kind of you. And I think moving around and stretching around, and if you have somebody to guide you, I think it helps too.
Yeah. Which,
If you're not
if
good at
anybody
it.
doesn't know, there are like 1,000. Go to YouTube and I mean,
Hmm.
there are thousands out there. Spotify has a bunch you can listen to. Because I mean,
Hmm.
yoga. I mean, I'm horrible at it. Don't make any mistakes. It's a consistent thing for me. Like I've got to. And like Eric was saying, I have the same exact issue as you, Eric. Where like especially if I'm usually with like I do a lot of CrossFit now because I can stay focused because it's a minute
Yeah.
on and then 30 seconds or 15 seconds off. So it helps me to be able to stay focused. I do one where I do rowing, like minute on, 15 second row. But I'll find myself towards the later sets where I'm going to like, and I'm totally gone. I'm thinking about something else. I'm barely
Yeah.
moving now. Come on, I have to
Yep.
focus myself back in.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
I have
and
that exact same
if other
issue.
people have stuff too, that send it in the comments because
Yeah,
this is interactive. We're live, so if you have stuff that you do that is helpful, or you want us to talk about stuff more or less or whatever, we may or may not listen to some of that, but we'll, like if you got option things that you do, let's share them because we talk about the problems. That's the undercover dumpster fire, the issues that we deal with, and then but we need to know
solutions.
what's helping. What does
Another
someone else do?
Yeah, another one is Tai Chi. My acting coach actually got me onto that, and
Yeah,
that's really good.
that's
Uh,
good. That's like, yeah, that's a good physical
that's
and
actually a
martial
good
arts
one.
stuff.
Yeah, and do it right
Hmm.
before auditions. It's actually to loosen you up and get you ready to go.
Yeah, yeah, I do that qigong, same
Oh
kind of
man.
thing. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know if they're neighbors or what happened with that, but they're basically the same thing. Physical meditation, moving your body,
I,
being focused.
I I just chase my wife around, and sometimes she be gone. So
Yeah, that's another version of it. Yeah, it's
I'm
the
making
keto
her a
version.
baseball bat. It'll give you a little more incentive.
Yep. No, it's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that in August too. Just so you know, if you let me have a day with you guys, and we're gonna run through all of this stuff. Well, I'll give you 20 years worth of things that I can boil down into a few hours, and see what you like out of it. Almost none of it is talking. I'll tell you that.
Hey, Willie, speaking of which, I kind of wanted to bring that up tonight, and maybe we'll close out with this because we'll talk about it for a little while. I wanted to go over our next, we have this podcast and what we're doing here, but this isn't all we're doing. I kind of wanted to let people know kind of where we're going in the future and what we got planned. So if you want to
Yeah, with
start
the
that, that would
undercover.
be cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
And with that,
I mean, the practice.
yep,
Yeah,
exactly. And then the
yeah.
reset.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, so moral of the story, I run a private practice. It basically saved my life during a dark time. I created it. It like I fed into it, and here we are today, and it's expanded, and I'm doing counseling services in 3 different states, and have had more than 12,000 clients. I quit counting. It's a lot, but it's manageable. And the reason I'm saying that is because that's where this stuff came from. Challenger Point itself is a mountain in Colorado. It's a 14er, and it's 14,087 feet. And I climbed it. And on the top of you can actually Google this if you want, or internet search it if you don't like Google. Just look at the plaque on Challenger Point, and it says Ad Astra per Aspera, which is Latin for to the stars through hardship. And it is named after the space shuttle Challenger. And you guys have heard this. So the Challenger blew up 86, and that was the very first television live thing that I ever saw, like traumatic thing. And I was at school, and we are in the gymnasium, and it shocked me, but I didn't know what to do. Just, I mean, whatever, I was a kid. So more of the story, there's a lot of meaning behind what we're doing here. And right next to it, Challenger Point, is Columbia Point, which is named after the Columbia space shuttle that exploded. And so you have to understand the connection here, because Columbia Point is a scholarship. It's actually a Columbia Point Scholarship is a nonprofit. It's registered and in good standing in Colorado, and we just changed the name of it to Undercover Dumpster Fire, because
Excellent.
Oh, wow.
yeah, so we have Undercover Dumpster Fire is Challenger Point Scholarship, and what it exists for is for resilience training for first responders and other people who deal with trauma, other professionals, other groups. And resilience training is what we're doing right now. We're talking about what helps. And this is an arm of it. So there's a video podcast, but then there's also there's an actual entity that is in good standing, and will build it out to be able to pay for people to do resilience training. If they find something that is helpful, that builds up their body, mind, kind of spirit, soul, like that kind of stuff, and it makes them stronger, then we'll be able to then gift scholarship money to people to do it. So there's a lot of pieces to that, but that's Undercover Dumpster Fire, and now we're moving it to Florida, because that's where that's the next step. And I already wrote to the IRS. We already got it registered, they changed, and so this whole thing, what we're doing, all makes sense now. And I'll take you guys to Challenger Point too if you want to go.
Oh yeah,
We'll go
that's a
climb
no-brainer.
that thing. But yeah, the
Wow.
14er, man, Colorado. If you want to go, there's hot springs right there. You can, climb the mountain and then chill.
Oh no, the three of us are definitely doing that. We have
Yeah.
to. I mean, that's just the way it is.
We have to.
Oh, I'm gonna have a heart attack, but at least I got a paramedic.
Yeah,
So.
we'll help you out.
Hey, if he goes down, Matt, what do we do?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're
Head
not
back down.
calling search and
Head back
rescue.
down immediately.
Yeah, if you call 911 from there, they send a Black Hawk. It's that kind of spot,
Oh.
like.
Oh, wow.
But it's really simple though, and so to the stars through hardship, that's who we are. That's what this is about, and it's to help people grow and help people deal with all the crap that they've dealt with. But the resetting, that's something new. to me. What I'm finding is the more that I practice trauma therapy, trauma treatment, trauma recovery, the more I learn and work with people, the more I realize we're doing it backwards. We're trying to talk to people and get people to talk about stuff, and they can't regulate their body. Their nervous system is all out of whack. And so if I can help somebody reset their nervous system and get their body under control, then they can do all the other stuff. They can do all the therapies. They can, they can process stuff. And a case in point, I won't say where this was, but a few weeks ago, I had an example of this. I had a cop that called, and he's like, "I'm suicidal. I'm thinking about killing myself." And he had his chief was calling. People were calling me from all over the place, like, "Hey, this guy's like not good." I talked to him for about an hour and just kind of explained this process, like, "Hey, we're going to start with your body first, and I just want you to follow along." We did the breathing. We did the tensing, the clenching and letting go, progressive muscle relaxation. We did the shaking, somatic shaking. We did some gut health exercises to get his gut kind of back, because, you get all tightened up in there. And so we went about an hour and a half where he was just working on his body. And we didn't talk a whole lot about why he was there and why we're doing this. And this is just on the phone.
Yep.
And so then I met with him 2 other times after that. He's like, "Man, it was so weird. I got like locked into this like headspace and body thing, and I couldn't turn it off. And then now I can turn it off." And he's like doing great. Now he doesn't want to leave. He was going to leave policing altogether. He's like, "I can't do this anymore." And he was about to kill himself. And he's alive, man. So I don't know how else to say,
Wow.
that's what we're doing. That's what Challenger Point practice is about. And if you go to the website, I've been building the crap out of that thing, because we got a disaster model going on, and to respond, like in Texas, to the floods.
Yep.
I'm licensed there too, and I had my licensing board ask for a proposal of what do we do to help first responders, and I'm like, I know. I know exactly what I would do if you let me. And
Yep.
So I built a disaster response model this week. So while my legs and feet were all burned on the bottom, I used that time to build something.
Everything happens for a reason. You melted your feet for a reason.
Yeah.
And not just a scooter ride. Not just a scooter ride.
Yeah. So, and I also developed, like, out of that, I think things happen for a reason. I don't think everything makes sense, but I do look for like windows, and it's like, oh, I can't walk now. What else do I do? What does this mean? What am I supposed to just watch TV for a week? I mean, I would love that, but I, being creative is a big piece of this too. So, and long story short, what we're doing is being creative. We're helping tell the stories. This is part of the story. This is part of your story, my story, anyone that's listening. So that's a creative kind of storytelling, narrative therapy that I think we're doing. I mean, not therapy, but just we're helping people tell the stories.
And like I said, and I've said this before, so far the biggest honor about doing this is several people have gone out and actually found a therapist or whatever, recognized that they needed help. And
that's cool.
I mean, that's the only reason, like, that's the best thing about doing, like, that's why we do this, is, either if you pick something up, and like, that's why we talk about our struggles, and that's why we call it Undercover Dumpster Fire,
Yep.
We all have them, and hopefully putting them out there and people realize, oh, I kind of have that same issue. Figure out a way to fix it.
You're not crazy. Things happen, and you respond to them, and then we have reactions, and sometimes those reactions just don't turn off. Like the grocery store. That was one that this other cop was dealing with too. The grocery store. He couldn't go to the grocery store. I know. And I hear that all day long, man. And I mean, to be honest, I don't actually go to the grocery store myself. I order them. I have them delivered.
Oh, you do the Instacart.
Whatever, I don't have time to go to the grocery store and shop, man. Like, just send them to me. I'll pick them up from the door, But if you need to go, then you got to have a
Yeah.
plan, you know. So
I will say the grocery store is one of the one places I feel I am ready to rock and roll because of so many stores we've gone to, you know. The ones
yeah.
I worry about are like stadiums where maybe you can't bring your
Ugh.
gun in, or maybe you got to, you know,
Oh
those are the kind
yeah.
of things that I was looking at doing maybe security work for the World Cup because I was like, oh, 2026, that'd be cool. And then I started seeing the cities. I'm like, crowds, people. I was like, screw that. I'm not doing that.
Concerts get me every time. Like,
Uh,
and that's it's the same principle as the grocery store for me, just because you can't 360 yourself, right? You can't have it covered completely. It's impossible,
hmm
and you miss people.
Oh,
So
yeah.
my biggest issue is I go, just so everybody knows, because I'm throwing myself under the bus left and right here. Anytime I go anywhere, whether it be a grocery store, a restaurant, whatever the situation is I will assess every single person in that room as threats and what where is my liability, where is my danger zone, kind of thing. Which, yes, it is very tiresome, very old, and no, I don't enjoy doing it. And if I could get away from doing it, I definitely would. But so far, I haven't been able to.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, but
Yeah.
it's
If we
great.
added some resets in there, like some
Exactly,
resetting principles,
and that's
um,
what. Yeah, that's part of.
mhm. Yeah.
Uh,
Then
yeah,
what you actually do is when you're physically reset, your nervous system is reset. You're just aware. So
right.
it's like you still see, you do everything you just talked about, but you're not concerned with the next thing that's going to happen. You're just aware of everything that's happening right now.
Yeah.
Right
And
now.
when you say the next thing, I'm gonna, because I think this is what you're talking about. At least this is. So what happens when I picture all, like, what, figure everybody out? I'm also picturing all the horrible things that could happen in that
That's the
particular
part.
situation.
Yeah. So we'll get you to where, and I don't say we, you working on it, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm not your counselor, but I'm your buddy and I'll help you out doing that, but
Exactly.
where you can still assess everything and then be right here. And your partners and stuff, if you have people with you and they know about it, you get a little trigger word, like I said in a couple episodes ago, where you have a little phrase or something that they can. Mine was dragon slippers. Um,
Oh, that's right.
my
How could I
wife
forget
gave it
that
to
one?
me. She
Of
gave it
course it
to
was.
me.
Of course it
Yeah.
was. I mean, yeah.
And I was like, all
Yeah.
right, dragon slippers, and then that means to me to work on resetting my. I'm getting all worked up about something. I don't know
Dragon.
whatever. Yeah, so and like you could create whatever's gonna make you kind of smile, like fuzzy
Mm.
buckets or whatever, like something that kind of reminds you, like, oh yeah, hey, like work on coming back to right
Centering.
now, you know, whatever you gotta
Exactly.
do to stay present. Um,
Yeah.
that's where it is. That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I
talking
thought
about.
about? I thought about doing was hit my old therapist that I had from after my shooting that I had through workers' comp. Because when we cut ties, it was because I retired. It wasn't like we had a regular.
Oh,
I'll see you for a couple more weeks and
Yeah.
wean off of you. It was well,
dessert.
we do private, and I was like, I ain't paying, I was like all proud, and then COVID hit and travels, and next thing you know, I'm like, I come back
Yeah,
here every January, February. I should do that once a year, maintenance follow up.
yeah.
Just pay the
Check in.
$300. It helps him out,
He's
helps him pay
expensive.
his more, well, whatever he is,
Yeah, well,
and
that's great, man.
just
Yeah,
do a maintenance and let him catch up. I send him emails now and then, because obviously he can't be buddies with his freaking former patients. But I got to be
yeah,
his one of the most exciting patients he has. Come on.
yeah. You can keep it live, man. He probably loved that. As a counselor, that's nice to hear. It's kind of like being dispatcher, where you just hear and see people for a while, and then like I assume the best. I assume
Right.
if I don't hear anybody, they're doing great. But then I
Yep.
also get, like, oh, that guy overdosed.
Uh,
And that
yeah.
guy drank himself to death. And that one's gone to suicide. Not under my
Right.
care, but just,
Yeah. It happens.
so you know, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard too. So he would probably appreciate that from a clinical perspective. But that's great. If you can do once a year, man.
Just be like, hey, what's up, man? Talk him into
Yeah.
keto again because he thought I was crazy. And
Yeah.
here I
You're
am,
like,
6 years
Hey,
later. Look at me now, doc. I mean,
Eric, I
yeah.
don't mean anything, but if your therapist thinks you're crazy, that's a problem.
maybe.
Yeah. Well, if there
It
wasn't
was
a
weird. They
reason
took my
for it.
gun and badge away the day I retired. I thought it was a ceremony.
As a matter of fact, I didn't even tell them I wanted to retire. They just told me. That's weird.
Yep. There's a reason for it too, though. Like if you guys were one of my clients, I would understand. Like you could be yourself, and I would understand why you're like that because I can understand where you came from too, and what you've been having to deal with. And there's a certain grittiness to people that have had to do what you guys have had to do, and I can recognize it. I'm sure you can too in people, or maybe you don't. I don't know, but do
That's
you
the quickest way
see it?
to find a first responder. Yeah, like if
Yeah,
you hear a first responder talking within, depending on the conversation,
usually.
5 minutes, you're like, oh well, they've got to be a first responder or
Yeah,
military. You get them confused
military. I
because
can usually pick out cops.
Oh, I
yeah,
know. So I grew
yeah,
my hair out, but I look like the old retired Willie Nelson cop.
yeah.
That's awesome.
You're kind of blown it now because I don't know what it is, but like our generation, when we retire, we all have long hair for whatever reason. That's why this is short. Like I don't know.
Grow up a beard.
I was undercover
Mhm.
long enough, had long hair long enough then that it's like, what, I don't need it now.
I
Mhm.
never, even private school, we always had to have it above the collar my whole life. And,
So now you're rebelling now. That's just worse.
Yeah.
and now I'm going bald. It's great.
Hey, just imagine you're doing like a period piece, like on TV. So you're
There you
representing like a time frame,
Yeah, the 50s.
like
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
50s.
I grew my
I
hair
got
out.
teenage kids as a 50-year-old. What am I doing to myself? Right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
clear. Everybody wants to be a beatnik. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm gonna shave mine again because I did that for like 20 years, and then I was on Dexter just in the background of the
Awesome.
first episode, and I had to have 90s hair. So for the last year and a half, I had like 90s hair, and I'm gonna come back to shaving because I just do it on my own, like in the mirror, just hook it up. But anyway, it's a self-care thing too, how you treat your hair and your body,
Like now, if I let mine get any long, like it just gets crazy.
You
Doesn't it
shave.
get curly?
Control it. Yeah, it does. Bad.
Oh, you got a curly head?
And it never did it before. Never ever before. It wasn't until now it's probably been like year and a half. But all of a sudden, like I let it grow out for a minute, and it just went crazy. I was like, all right, this
Afro.
Looking like Napoleon Dynamite.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Not a good look for me.
Hey Matt, what are you doing? I heard Eric said a little bit, and I said a little bit. What are you working on? What are you working?
I've been going a little bit crazy here lately. I got to find a day to recenter, but I've actually had some luck. I just did a commercial last week, which was a blast. I've been averaging over 5 auditions a week, which is great.
Nice.
I'm not complaining, but that slams you. And then I do a lot of the user generated content, and that's been keeping me going. And then got my acting class tomorrow. I'm excited about that, and I'm doing a documentary. So that's going to be interesting as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, you got to share that stuff with us on here somehow. We got to figure out how to share screens and stuff like that too.
Definitely.
I mean, I've only seen Matt without his shirt working out, so I mean,
yeah,
it's true. Yep.
You knew that was going to come to roost.
Right? Yeah. There was no way that was going away. I knew that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're gonna be down there all together in a hot second.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I got to start doing my ab work again. We got Willie, young man Willie.
I'm not even.
What we're doing? All of us without our shirt on? Is that what we're doing?
I mean, it probably will happen, but because that's another thing too of using cooling vests. You ever had a cooling vest on from like a motocross?
No, I've never. I know what you're talking about, but I've never.
Yeah. So that's another way to get people to come back to zero because your core temperature rises, and that's part of your nervous system too. So if we can lower
ice plunge. Yeah, I do the ice bath.
Oh yeah, same thing. Yep. But that's a physical way, to reset your nervous system. And that mammalian dive reflex about your face, if you put your face in cold water, the water's below 70 degrees, and it drops your heart rate.
Yep.
Like almost immediately, and your brain says hold your breath because you're underwater, So like you don't need as much oxygen at that point. So anyway, that's a cool little trick. If people don't know that, to try.
Yeah.
And there's Google, YouTube, and man, if you don't believe me, there's people that are demonstrating it, and we'll do it. We'll try that stuff if you guys are up for it.
Not definitely.
In August,
I'd say we could all do the ice bath together, but it's kind of small, and I'm not getting in it with the two of you. So sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
That's a weird fireman sandwich, you know.
It's like one fireman, 2 cops, and an ice bath. All right.
Yeah,
Cameras are rolling. Like, what's happening right now?
That'll be our most watched episode.
Yes, it will, without question.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a whole undercover dumpster fire from in it. First one to get out loses.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in the Keys, so.
Yeah. I mean, you can think opposites, you know? And like when I'm in Colorado, there's hot springs, and there's one called the Coffin I'll take you guys to.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If your blood pressure can handle it, you know?
The whole coffin thing isn't as appealing as you may think it is.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. It's like it's so hot. But what's funny though is
I do the sauna with my wife. That's kinda,
same thing.
Hot. Yeah.
Same thing. You know, breathing in the air and stuff, it changes. It's like a different gear in your head. Yeah. You can't be all anxious. I mean, cold actually will help slow your brain down.
Right.
Hot can speed it up, but it's also a physical thing. If you're breathing, and once you get out and cool off, then you relax. You know.
One of my buddies, Scott, just said, "Only a man knows what a man needs."
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. We know what's up. Yeah. Well, I want to do some of this stuff with you guys, man. You know, one thing I've never done is scuba dive. When I would love to, and I plan to take people along with me when I do it as a way to kind of experiment and get out of your head. So if that's ever something you want to do, then let me know.
I used to scuba dive, actually.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the air.
Certified.
Yeah, like
I'm more of a snorkel guy.
Yeah,
now that's what I do.
Floating around.
After working homicide in the Keys and working numerous dead bodies of people scuba diving, I now snorkel and free dive.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's cool.
No, I blew my eardrums once in the Bahamas diving.
So you're not going below 10 anyway.
You know, diving for conch when you swim down and pick it up and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
I came up with nosebleeds, and it was rough for a couple of days. And I've always been a little sensitive to it now. I'm a big baby. Oh, my ears hurt.
Oh, yeah. If you blew it out, you really shouldn't be going below 10 anymore.
Yeah.
No. That's the way you're going to get me.
I'm just going to keep pushing. You're fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and challenge your point. Think about this: if you were having a hard time getting out of your head, and you want to really speed this up, if you were around a bunch of dudes that are doing the same shit that helps them, think how much faster you would track your recovery or your regular life and get kind of squared away. And that's where we got to have a little mission, though. You know, like sitting in an office, I hate that, and I'm a counselor. So, you know, like, and a lot of times we're just talking in the office. And so if we're out moving around, now we can start actually getting rid of that energy and like really starting to, you know, and EMDR is kind of in the middle too, Matt, by the way, just because there's that physical piece to it. But, you know, when you guys are looking at therapy, think about that. The other one that people really appreciate is like trauma-informed existential therapy. If you were to look that up, that's
I'll
really
never
more.
remember that.
Yeah, I'll put it in the comments. Existential therapy is kind of like that deep stuff about who you are, and you lose that when you're in trauma. You lose a sense of who you are, and you become whatever version that you need to be to get through it. But you have to come back. You got to come back to you, man. You were lost in there somewhere, in pieces of you, you know. And you're still there. Don't get me wrong. We're here, you know. But there's parts of you that develop to deal with whatever you were dealing with, and then that's farther away from your true self. So to come back to some of those things is to do existential therapy. Is to answer some of those questions, like, you know. That thing almost killed me, but it didn't. What does that mean about me? You know, and get back to the core of you. It's good stuff. Yeah. But if you do it in motion, it helps, is my point. And you do it in a community, it helps. so it's not just you in your room, you know, or you and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you solo. That's where we do life. We need to be connected. Guys are supposed to be like, you know, healing comes. I'm people are. We're gonna get shadow banned again. Men heal from other men, among other men, not from women. Sorry, but not because it's not how we're wired.
Now we're gonna get hate. We're not getting shadow banned. Now we're gonna get hate mail. Good job, Billy. Thanks.
Hey, women do a great job, but you know what I'm saying. There's a certain thread that like I'll capture it from a woman. She can help me to a point, and then there's a part where it's like, man, I wish I had some guy that knew what the fuck this looks like,
Yeah.
you know, so I can kind of gauge it. And nobody's showing us this stuff, so that's where we come up with like roll call TV, and we got a whole nother level coming on pretty soon.
Get ready for roll call TV. That's gonna be a
roll
blast.
call TV. Yeah, we're gonna be on it. We're gonna be doing some of this stuff on camera. It'll be fun. It's a comedy, so get ready for that because we'll demonstrate.
Eric, you're on that too, just so you know. You just haven't heard about it yet.
Yeah, we haven't cast him totally yet. We gotta like have.
You guys were saying I'm like Grumpy Chief or something. So.
No, you don't have to be Grumpy Chief. You could just be a cop, man, or whatever you want to be.
You can be the cowboy. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but we will need a Grumpy Chief though. We will need like you know, somebody who's because it's like a public safety department, so it's cops and fire and EMS combining. So it's like somebody who doesn't like all that crap, and then has to organize it. We need somebody like that. We're just the firefighters and the police in the story, and it's a comedy. It'll be funny. We'll make it funny.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny. It's gonna have the dark humor that we all crave.
We love that. That's the thread, man. That's what holds you together when nothing else does. It's something funny, you know. Yep. We're gonna use that as a medium.
That'd be great.
Yeah, teach people.
All right, boys, I'm calling on you.
All right, man.
We're wrapping up. All right. Awesome episode tonight. This was a lot of fun. It was good talking to you guys. Plus, we haven't talked to each other in a while, so that was nice.
No, man. Glad to catch up with you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm going to put that.
Your Grumpy Chief.
John Collins?
Captain. What are you doing to me here? Actually, he could be really funny. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. I'm just putting up existential therapy because that's a big blah 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 blah. If you don't want to remember that, just watch the show and then
there you go.
You'll see it, you know. So
if you can't find it, just look for things that have been shadow banned. It'll be there somewhere.
We'll have like 2 views on this episode, you know. Yeah. We
Captain,
want
by the way, I need to get up with you for sure this week, even if it's just through text messages, because obviously you need to come on here. You don't really have a choice. You just have to come on. So I need to know what days or which weekends you're available so I can mark one of them. But I'll text you then. Mm-hmm. Chief Rambo. All right. You know what? It's sounding better and better by the minute.
That's a good name.
We're just naming. We're like naming people, you know. All right, let's do it. All right, so I'll wrap it up. Thank you to you guys also, because Matt, you always wrap it up. But thank you for being on here, and Eric, thank you for being on here, and everyone else that commented, thank you for being on here and being here tonight. So.
Absolutely. Thank you all very, very much, and see y'all next week.
All right.
Everybody have a good week. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.
If I